Okay, now welcome in on my show now. It's time to introduce my next special guest. Joining me, we have the one and only Georgina White joining me on my show. Welcome to my show, Georgina.
Thank you so much, Danny. Thanks for inviting me on today.
Lovely. Where are you in the UK at the moment?
So, I'm currently in South Wales in a place called Carmarthen because I'm on a UK tour with a rock musical called Operation Julie.
Fantastic. Now, I just want to ask you firstly, where did your passion for music come from?
Um, I think I came out of the womb singing, well, definitely screaming. But my mum was an opera singer, so I grew up going to watch her um, in her shows in London, and my grandparents, they're Austrian, and they were in an Austrian folk band, and they travelled around. They were signed to Polydor, so it's definitely in the blood.
Oh, great. I know Austria has exported some greats over the centuries, including some opera singers, and is it Vienna? That's very cultural in itself as well.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very cultural. Lots of opera singers do come from Austria, and of course Mozart from Salzburg, which is where my grandmother lives.
Right, brilliant. And now I wanted to ask, what was the first record you ever bought? Do you remember going into a record shop buying, um, a record or an LP or a vinyl? Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, I was always into the big female powerhouse vocalists. So I was obsessed with Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. I think it was probably seeing Celine Dion's greatest hits, which I remember learning all the lyrics to. Do you remember they used to have the booklets in the CD cases? I
Yes.
Yeah, I used to spend time memorizing those lyrics. And also I listened to the Beatles a lot as a little girl.
Oh, great. I like the Greatest Hits albums because you get your money's worth, don't you? All of them songs are a hit, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Although now, as a recording artist myself, I now understand how much you want people to listen to, all of your work and not just the greatest hits.
Yeah, I mean, the Greatest Hits, they do take a few years to put together, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got a few years ahead of me yet.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, as a Beatles fan as well, were you a Red album girl or the Blue album girl? Do you remember the compilation album with the Beatles in the
Yes.
lifts?
Yeah. Oh, I was a red.
Red. Oh wow. Yes.
Yes. How
Good.
about
Good.
you?
Yeah. Both are good, aren't they? Both are good. I do like the latter part of the Beatles as well. So 64 to Blue, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So moving on, we're here to talk about your new single as well. Is it Healer? It's called.
Yes, this is Healer. It's eclectic blues soul.
Nice. And what does this new release entail?
So um, it's a brand new soul ballad which I have written and composed, and then John Carr has arranged and produced it, and put some gorgeous electric guitar on there. And then I've also filmed a music video for it out in Thailand, which has been quite exciting.
Oh, beautiful. John Carr, he's doing really well for himself. I know you're doing the rounds on various charts at the moment.
Yes, yeah, I've been lucky enough to have had a couple of number ones in the chart of gold, which has been amazing. And John Carr is regularly up there in the top spot, and I know he's doing brilliantly in the heritage chart as well.
That's good. With so much music out there at the moment, more people doing music. Do you think it's really refreshing that there's many charts now for specific types of music rather than just the big top 40 commercial?
Absolutely, I think it. Otherwise it becomes really elitist, and only very few handful of artists even get recognized. So I think the fact that people are more widely recognized, there are specific charts. I think it's wonderful. It becomes more inclusive, and you find the people who really like to listen to your music.
Because when people say about today's music, they go on really about the songs that hear on the commercial radio rather than like the original artists' independence. There's so much great music out there if you want to look for it.
That's the thing. It's out there if you want to look for it, and probably a lot of people don't know that there's music that they would love to listen to if they if they search somewhere a little bit different on Spotify or iTunes or on the internet.
And your record, Healer, they do say time is a great healer. That was also a song by Eva Cassidy. Is she an artist that you may look up to?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I adore Eva Cassidy, and I have been healed many times through listening to her music. She is just she's a huge inspiration, and I find her music so incredibly therapeutic and calming. So yes, she's definitely been a musical influence of mine.
Mm, fantastic. And you're in shows as well. Do you have any upcoming gigs or shows you may like to tell us about?
So at the moment, I'm in the hit rock musical Operation Julie. We are touring around the UK for the next few weeks, and we've had 5-star reviews. It's got a 1970s prog rock soundtrack, and it's an amazing true story all about the biggest drugs bust in Wales that happened in the 1970s. So it's really gripping, exciting, it's funny, and there's an amazing soundtrack as well. And I get to sing some awesome folk and rock songs from the 70s.
Lovely. And like 70s music, prog rock, are there like any Genesis in there, that type of music?
There's some Jimi Hendrix. So we do Purple Haze.
Mm.
Um, there are bands like Budgie, and oh my goodness, my my mind's gone completely blank. We don't have any Genesis, but we do have a Caravan is another band as well. So we've got Budgie, Caravan, some other songs off the top of my head. Silver Machine, Bread Fan. Um, yeah, it's a really great hippie
Yeah.
soundtrack.
So some original pioneers there of prog rock in there.
Absolutely original
Yeah.
pioneers. Yeah.
Good, good, good. What do you enjoy about playing intimate venues?
Oh, I love playing intimate venues because I just love having that close interaction with the audience, and they're part of it. They're part of the cast as well. It's very very exciting performing to an intimate audience. And in fact, I just did a gig on Monday night in the West End in London in Soho at Freedom Bar. I did Kinky Cabaret night, and it was an incredibly intimate audience, and one of the best nights that I've had in a while.
Nice to hear. Are there any places in the world that you may like to visit which haven't done so already? And if so, perform in too?
Oh wow, so many places that I want to um, perform. I'd love to go to Australia and perform over there. I've not performed on Broadway yet, so that's definitely a goal. And got to do Vegas at some point.
Has to be done, isn't it? Sometimes you just got to do it, haven't you? Book the
Yeah,
flights.
exactly,
Cool.
exactly.
And when it comes to future music as well, do you have anyone that you may like to work with on stage or in the studio?
Oh, once again, that is a fantastic question. So many people. I die to work with Miley Cyrus or Lady Gaga, and then producer wise, Mark Ronson. Um, yeah, so you never know. Watch this space.
Yeah, sure. The strangest of things can happen in life.
Exactly, exactly.
And you also do a bit of acting, which you just mentioned. How do you find acting on stage as in comparison to singing?
Um, I adore both, and I find that they're often intertwined in theatre. I really enjoy acting because I like getting into the psyche of another character, stepping into their shoes, and exploring their journey and their thought processes. That's really really exciting. And then with singing, at the moment, I'm doing a lot of my own work, so it feels like it's my voice. So having played lots of different roles, it's really nice to find myself as as an artist.
Mm. And you got your new single Healer doing the rounds at present. What's next for you? Do you have any projects you are keen to get working on?
I've got a couple of new singles up my sleeve, which are already recorded. So got some slightly different stuff that's been recorded, a little bit more funky, a bit more upbeat, um, and I've got plenty of gigs lined up over the summer, which I'll be posting about on social media. And then I've been offered some more theatre work later this year, which I can't talk about yet because I haven't accepted it, I'm afraid. But there's plenty in the pipeline.
That's good. Keep him busy. That's what you
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
and finally,
I'm very lucky.
that's good. What's your website as well? Far away, if you'd like to just share that with my listeners.
Sure. So I'm on www.georginawhite.com. And I try and update it as frequently as I can, but I'm more up to date really with Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow me on there. I'm Georgina White official on Instagram, um, and Georgina White on Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter.
Great, marvelous stuff. Well, Georgina White, thank you very much for chatting to me today. All for me to do now is just play your new single on my show.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad you like it, and thank you for your support. It means a lot to me.
And all the best with your new single and career this year.
Thank you, Danny. Thanks so
No
much.
worries.